All right, welcome back. Well, all of this week, it's Happy Heart Week, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the Irish Heart Foundation will be on the streets all around the country collecting money. They'll be selling badges like these and key rings as well, so watch out for them. Well, we thought we'd send Olive out to take a look at how she can keep fit and exercise, fitness, getting your heart moving, and we found out that it's just not Olive's boyfriend that gets her heart racing. Take a look at this.
Now, we may not have picked the best day for it because it is about to rain on top of us, but we are getting active, and I think that's important, especially with the Irish Happy Heart weekend this weekend. And we've a little bit of inspiration today, the pedometer. Tell me a bit about that.
Well, the pedometer, Olive, is a great tool for motivating people to get more active, particularly people who are not active, who are not doing at least 30 minutes 5 days a week. So I'll show you how to use a pedometer. You open it up, it has one button, so you hit the reset button.
Nice and simple.
Yes. Nice and simple, and you put it on your waistband, and it's just directly above your knee.
Okay.
And what the pedometer does, it senses your hip movement as you walk. Now, we would recommend doing 10,000 steps for good health.
Okay.
However, for some people, 10,000 steps is very hard to reach, so you build up to the amount of steps. So if you're not very active already, you work with your level of fitness and your level of health, etc.
Okay, so you pop that on.
Yes.
And we'll go for a little walk and see how many steps we can clock up in just a few minutes.
Yes.
Because it really is simple, really. You should just be making an effort to walk, maybe to the shop, or, you know, maybe walk a bit around work. Because I can imagine that people are spending a lot of time at work and they're not very active then.
Yeah, well, the Irish Heart Foundation would recommend at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity 5 days a week. Now, you can build on this 30 minutes, so if you don't want to be active, or you cannot be active in 30 minutes, you can do it in increments of 10 minutes.
Oh, that's clever.
So you can break down your 10 minutes. So at work, if you want to pop out during lunchtime for a 10-minute walk, if you want to do a 10-minute walk to catch the bus in the morning, if you want to walk with your kids for 10 minutes in the evening. But we know from evidence that this amount of activity is needed for heart health, to reduce your risk of heart disease and stroke.
Okay, and when you're saying just 10 minutes, like, that's very manageable.
Yes, that's why for some people are not very active. They're not even doing that, Olive. Unfortunately, we know
they're driving to work, they're sitting at a desk, they're driving home, and they're sitting on their couch.
Yes, that's right. And nearly half the Irish population is not active for their health. So the Irish Heart Foundation wants to get the message out that you can do this, and you can reduce your risk of getting heart disease and stroke and many other diseases like diabetes. You can help manage your weight, and walking is great for your health as well. It helps to relieve tension, stress, and you can make friends when you walk as well.
Okay, well, let's crack on and see how many steps we can clock up.
Okay.
That cardiovascular disease is the biggest killer in Ireland is such an amazing statistics that I didn't really know about.
Yes, Olive, and unfortunately not a lot of people actually do know that. 10,000 deaths occur annually due to cardiovascular disease in Ireland. Cardiovascular disease is disease of the heart and the circulatory system, which includes the arteries and the veins. So this leads to heart attack, it leads to angina, and it leads to stroke. Okay. And the Irish Heart Foundation would like to get the message out to reduce your risk of heart disease and stroke. You need to be active for at least 30 minutes 5 days a week. Now, we do know that being active halves your risk of heart disease. It reduces your risk of stroke by 27%. So that's the great news. By being active, by taking a walk for at least 30 minutes at a moderate intensity. Now, we need to get the importance of moderate intensity across too. With moderate intensity, you feel an increase in your breathing and heart rate. So if you're walking along, you'll feel a little bit warmer all over. And if you put your hand on your heart here, you'll feel it thumping a little bit more.
Okay, and you were saying as well that if we wanted to pick up the pace, to incorporate your arms into the walk as well, to kind of get a bit more out of it,
yes,
really, and to challenge yourself.
That's it exactly, Olive, because you do need to challenge yourself. A lot of people walk, but they're not actually walking at the correct intensity.
They're strolling around and wondering, why is nothing happening?
That's it exactly. So by moving your arms, your legs will follow at a faster pace as well.
Right,
and you're including more muscles.
Okay, well, come on, I'll race you.
It's getting late, but I don't
steps clocked up there. Will we check how many we've done?
Yes, why
Okay,
not?
now, how many should we, in theory, have done by now before we look?
Well, roughly, Olive, for every 10 minutes of activity you do, you should get around 1,000 steps.
Okay.
So let's just open and see.
Okay, and I keep having problems opening mine.
We have over 1,000 steps.
Ah, you've 10 more done than me. Let's show the camera. Look at us. She's done 10 more than me. Well, I'll clock them up in a minute. But like, it is so easy to just cover a lot of ground in the few minutes. Like,
Yeah.
that was literally 10, 15 minutes.
And I think this is great if you want to do more activity in the workplace. Put your pedometer on first thing after you get out of bed, walk to work. Even during your work, take the stairs more often.
Instead of the elevator.
Instead of the elevator. Walk to your colleague's desk. You know, it's just about building in more activity into your daily life, reducing the amount of time you spend sitting. Even at home while you're watching the TV, get up from the couch, take a few steps up and down.
The ad break's great for that.
Yes.
Walk around the couch. But I think what you're saying is, you know, it's so easy to just build in a little bit of activity into your life, and it's important to get your heart rate up, even if it's 3 times a day, just to work that muscle, because it is a muscle at the end of the day.
That's it, Olive. Your heart exactly is a muscle, and like any other muscle in the body, you need to exercise it. So by exercising your heart muscle, you're making it work more efficiently. It's pumping blood all around your body, and by doing that, you're reducing your risk of heart disease and stroke.
So then for people who may think that they might need to lose a few pounds, people who are obese that really do need to get a lot more active, is 30 minutes enough, or do they need to be doing a lot more exercise?
No, Olive, you do need to do a lot more activity if you want to lose weight, if you want to prevent obesity. You need to be active for at least 60 to 75 minutes every day. And the Irish Heart Foundation would recommend this. But if you can't do your activity in one session, again, you can break up your activity into bouts of 10, 15 minutes throughout the day.
And I think people will find that a lot more manageable as well. And
Yes.
it seems less of a daunting task.
You see, that's it. For some people, time is the biggest barrier. And if you can break up your activity throughout your daily life, be it at work, be it at home, be it with the kids, then it's much more achievable.
Now, I have to be honest, I'm probably one of those people who will do something for 3 or 4 days and then the novelty wears off and I get very lazy and I sit back down on my couch. How do you keep motivated?
Well, Olive, I'd say the first thing in keeping someone motivated is for them to choose an activity that they actually enjoy, and then they're more likely to stick at it.
Makes sense?
Yes. Build in activity into your lifestyle, at work, at home. Get active with a friend.
I love that one, because if you have a friend who you're saying, okay, we're going for a walk every evening at 8 o'clock or whatever it is, she'll ring you and go, okay, come on, and you know, you'll drag each other, which is great.
That's it, exactly, and you'll encourage each other to do more steps, more minutes. Set yourself a goal as well. That's a great way of keeping yourself motivated. The Irish Heart Foundation has a 5-week walking or step challenge that people can do. So you know that you're going to start it and you're going to finish it 5 weeks later. So you have something to work towards.
Super. And I think the pedometer is great, because at least when you see it in numbers, you feel like you've really achieved something, which I think is great as well.
That's it. And for some people, when they don't reach the 10,000, they make an effort even to walk the extra few minutes to build up the 10,000.
Excellent. Well, listen, with all those tips, we've no more excuses. We have to get active.
Yes, I would say get active today.
There you go, Olive Geoghegan getting a little bit fitter. And more about the Irish Heart Foundation and heart awareness tomorrow on the evening show. We'll be looking at the whole issue of CPR and resuscitation. You mightn't like it, but someday you might need it. Plus, we'll be reintroducing ourselves to rockabilly music. That's all on the evening show tomorrow. Do join us then.